Hi Scorpio, how's it going? I hope you're doing wonderful today. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I am doing a Celtic cross spread for you. This is a Celtic cross spread, but it's just in 2 rows like this and then these 2 extras on the bottom just for space, okay? So I'll go through each card with you individually and then I'll summarize it at the end. It's a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. Okay, so your first card that came out is the Five of Cups reversed, and this card represents your current situation. So when this card comes out upright, it's about grief, regret, or focusing on loss. But when it comes out reversed or upside down, it can suggest movement out of that state. So it can point to you're either going through some kind of emotional recovery, you're starting to process and release something painful rather than staying stuck in that energy, rather than staying stuck in it. It could also be about acceptance. So some of you are coming to terms with disappointment. You're forgiving yourself or you're forgiving someone else. Or it could indicate that you're shifting your perspective. You're noticing what's still standing instead of what's being lost. When it comes out upright, it's about focusing on the 3 cups that are spilled, not the 2 cups that are still standing behind you. So when it comes out upright, you're focusing on things that, not being pessimistic or focusing on the things that didn't work out or disappointment, loss, regret. And you're ignoring what's still good in your life. Okay. So it's about shifting your perspective. You're noticing what's still standing, what you still have, instead of what's been lost. And then it can also indicate a readiness to move forward. Even if you're not fully healed, you're no longer resisting the process of moving forward. You're ready now to move forward. You're a sign, Scorpio, that naturally goes deep into emotional experiences. So this reversal can indicate that you've already done some heavy internal work and now you're turning a corner. The tone here isn't everything is fixed, but more like you're no longer defined by the loss. Okay. Then the second card is the Nine of Cups reversed. So this card represents what's crossing you or what's challenging you or your situation, or it could be what you're celebrating. The Five of Cups reversed, this is about emotional recovery, but it's being crossed by the Nine of Cups reversed, which can complicate things. This card, the Nine of Cups, when it comes out upright, it's the wish fulfilled card. It's about satisfaction, emotional contentment, getting what you wanted. But when it comes out reversed, it could be about feeling dissatisfied or feeling empty, even after getting something you thought you wanted. Or it could represent unmet expectations. Your reality didn't match the fantasy. Or it could indicate overindulgence or emotional burnout. Or it could mean maybe you're thinking to yourself or feeling like, Why doesn't this feel as good as I thought it would? Okay. Maybe you had a fantasy or a dream of something, a job, or it'll be different for all of you, but like a place that you want to live, or whatever it is, it's something you thought would be like, be really, make you really happy. And then it's like, it doesn't feel as good as you thought it would. But it's telling me that you're trying to move on from a disappointment. Okay? But the challenge is that you may still feel emotionally unfulfilled, or you're realizing that what you were hoping for, or maybe even what you got, isn't actually satisfying. So this could mean that you're healing from a loss, but you're struggling to find genuine happiness again. Or you let go of something painful only to face a different kind of emptiness. Or you're questioning your desires. You're wondering, did you even want the right thing? This could also indicate internal versus external fulfillment. The Five of Cups reversed is telling me that there's inner healing starting, but the Nine of Cups reversed is telling me that external happiness isn't lining up here. So the crossing energy could be your challenge isn't just letting go of the past. It's figuring out what actually fulfills you now. And this combination is less about being stuck in grief and more about being in a transition phase where you've left pain behind, but you haven't fully landed in true contentment yet. Maybe some of you are close. I'm a Scorpio too. I can resonate with some of this, but yeah, maybe you haven't fully landed in true contentment yet. And then your foundation card is the Ace of Swords. With this card, when it comes out reversed in the foundation, it's the why underneath everything. When it comes out reversed, it's about confusion, miscommunication, or a lack of clarity at the root of the situation. Upright, this card is truth, breakthroughs, honesty, and mental clarity. But reversed, it shows misunderstandings, poor communication, self-deception, denial, not seeing something clearly or not wanting to. It could indicate a blocked or a delayed realization. Or it can be words left unsaid or said the wrong way. So these first three cards together in your foundation, something started or unraveled because the truth wasn't clear. Either you didn't have all the facts, or you weren't being honest with yourself or someone else, or communication broke down. Now you're trying to emotionally recover from the fallout of that confusion or misunderstanding. But even as you move on, you're struggling with emotional fulfillment. Things don't feel as satisfying as you expected, or you're realizing your desires were based on shaky understanding to begin with. You may be healing from something that never had a solid or honest foundation in the first place. So this could be a relationship where things weren't clearly defined or truthfully expressed, or it could be mixed signals, assumptions, or things left unsaid that led to disappointment, or believing something would make you happy only to realize later it wasn't aligned with you. This is about clarity versus illusion. You're coming out of emotional pain, but the real root issue is, did you misunderstand this situation, or did you ignore what you actually knew deep down? If your desires are based on unclear truth, then fulfillment won't land properly. This spread so far feels like a turning point where you're not just healing, you're being pushed to get brutally honest with yourself about what actually happened and what you truly want. And then the fourth card represents your past, but is relevant to your current situation. And you got the 10 of Cups. So this adds a really important layer, and honestly, it shifts the tone from confusion to something more bittersweet. The 10 of Cups in the past position is a strong card. It represents emotional fulfillment, happiness, harmony, and often an idolized version of love, family, or everything is perfect. So in your past, there was a period of happiness, emotional fulfillment, or at least the feeling that everything was right. And then for your foundation, but underneath that, there was a lack of clarity, a lack of truth, or honest communication. And now you're present, you're recovering from a disappointment or an emotional loss. And your challenge is you're struggling to feel truly fulfilled or satisfied. So this could suggest that you experienced something that felt like your emotional ideal, whether it was a relationship, a connection, or even a life situation that seemed perfect at the time. But with the Ace of Swords reversed, that happiness may not have been built on full truth or clarity. That doesn't mean it was fake. It could mean that things were idolized or seen through rose-colored glasses. Or it could mean that important conversations or truths were avoided. Or it could mean that one or both sides weren't fully honest or self-aware. Or Scorpio, you yourself believed in a version of happiness that wasn't fully grounded in reality. So what happens next is the illusion or the misunderstanding eventually led to disappointment or loss. And now you're in the Five of Cups reversed energy. You're trying to heal and move forward. But the Nine of Cups reversed shows the emotional confusion that follows. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, if that felt like everything, then why didn't it actually last or fulfill you? Okay? There's a strong theme here of ideal versus reality. The Ten of Cups is the dream. The Ace of Swords reversed is unclear truth beneath the dream. The Nine of Cups reversed is dissatisfaction after the dream doesn't hold up. And then the Five of Cups reverse is learning to let go and emotionally recover. So this can be, for you, Scorpio, a deep internal reckoning. You're not just grieving the loss, you're reevaluating what you believed happiness was in the first place. This reading, this spread doesn't feel like an ending. It feels like a wake-up phase. You're being pushed to move from idolized happiness to honest, grounded fulfillment. And then your fifth card, your immediate future, is the Lovers reversed, Gemini energy. So this points to a situation where alignment is off, especially in relationships. Values or major choices. Upright, the Lover's card is about union, harmony, and aligned decisions. Reversed, it tends to show, this card is telling me there's disconnection or imbalance in a relationship. Or there's a breakup or distancing or emotional misalignment. Or it's telling me there's a difficult choice. There was a difficult choice where the right path isn't being taken yet. Values are not lining up. You're wanting different things, or you're choosing from a place of confusion rather than truth. So something felt like the ideal, emotionally fulfilling situation, but there was confusion or a lack of truth or miscommunication underneath. Now you're trying to heal and move on, but you're struggling to feel satisfied or emotionally fulfilled. There's a clear moment of misalignment or separation. So this suggests that very soon you will be faced with, or it's already approaching, a realization or event that confirms the connection or situation isn't truly aligned. So this can look like either you're experiencing a relationship drifting further apart, or a conversation that highlights incompatibility, or a conscious decision to step away, or maybe even staying in it but knowing deep down it's not right. The Lovers reversed isn't just about love, it's about choices. And with the Ace of Swords reversed in the foundation, this future card can indicate you're being pushed to finally make a clear, honest decision. something that may have been avoided before. And this also connects with the Nine of Cups reversed. If something isn't fully fulfilling and it's not aligned, then a choice has to be made. So the energy here is less random and more like a progression. Something once felt perfect, truth was unclear or avoided, disappointment followed, you're healing, but you're not fulfilled, and now comes the moment of truth in action. You're confronting emotional truth and you're making transformative choices. But one thing you need to be careful of, if you don't make the aligned choice, then the Lover's reverse can also show continuing in a misaligned situation, which prolongs the dissatisfaction that's shown in the Nine of Cups reversed. And then your sixth card is the outcome you desire most in your situation, and you got the reversed Magician. So this points to feeling powerless or unable to create the outcome you want, or it could be self-doubt or a lack of confidence, or you're trying to control or force something that isn't working. Or it could represent manipulation either by you or someone else. Or it could be telling me that you're having the tool, you have the tools, but you're not using them clearly or honestly. You had something that felt ideal, but it wasn't actually built on full clarity. It led to disappointment, and now you're healing. Yet you still feel unfulfilled. And Spirit is letting you know that a misalignment or a difficult choice is coming up. You may want to fix, recreate, or regain control of the situation, but you don't feel fully capable or aligned in doing so. You're wanting to make things work again, but not knowing how. Or you're trying to manifest a specific outcome that isn't actually aligned. Or you're doubting your own power after being disappointed. Or even unintentionally avoiding full honesty. Right now you're stuck between letting go and moving forward and trying to regain control or recreate something. The tension is if you're trying to manifest from a place of confusion, misalignment, or unmet emotional needs, it won't land properly. Your power isn't gone, but it's blocked by lack of clarity and misalignment. If you shift into honest communication and making aligned choices, then the Magician energy flips back upright naturally. Right now, your desire may be to control the outcome or to avoid losing something completely or to make it work. But the cards are nudging toward alignment over control. Your self-image card is the Star. You see yourself as hopeful or healing or optimistic about the future, or emotionally open or trying to be, or wanting renewal, peace, and something genuine. The star is very pure, vulnerable energy. It's about trusting that things can get better, even after disappointment. Okay. You see yourself as someone who's healing and hopeful, even if your situation doesn't fully reflect that yet. You're healing. You believe in something better internally, but externally, the mental reality is confusion or misalignment or a lack of fulfillment. There's a gap here. So it could be genuine, you could be going through genuine healing that's in progress. You're really moving toward a better place. You haven't lost hope despite everything you've gone through. You're holding on to hope in a difficult situation. You may still believe that things can improve, even when the Lover's reverse suggests misalignment. You believe in a positive outcome, but you don't yet have the clarity or alignment to make it real. After emotional intensity and loss, the star represents emotional rebirth. So at your core, you're not seeing yourself as broken or defeated. You're seeing yourself as someone who's healing and meant for something better. That's very powerful, but it needs grounding. You identify with healing and hope, but you still need clarity and alignment to support that vision. You haven't given up yet, Scorpio. And that's a key part to this whole story. You haven't given up. The star can indicate holding on to hope and something that may not fully align anymore. And then your environment or how others see you and your situation is the Devil reverse, Capricorn energy. This card is about breaking free from unhealthy attachments, detachment from toxicity or obsession, releasing control, dependency, or limiting patterns, or trying to clean up a messy situation, or at least appearing to be doing that. So you may be stepping away from something intense or unhealthy, or you may be untangling from a codependent or draining dynamic, or you're no longer attached or consumed as you were before, or you're actively trying to regain independence and control over yourself. Others see you as breaking free, Scorpio. Internally, maybe you felt confused or not fully fulfilled, or you were wanting to control, or you were wanting resolution. And it's also saying you're still hopeful. but externally, you're getting out of something. People around you may be seeing you being distant. People around you may already be seeing distance, detachment, or a release from something intense or binding. You may be loosening attachment to something that wasn't aligned. You're leaving something behind that wasn't good for you, even if it still hurts. You're still emotionally tangled. Internally, you feel emotionally tangled or uncertain, or you're wanting resolution. But externally, you look like you're over it or you're breaking free from it. Others may be seeing a cleaner break than what actually exists emotionally for you. So the devil reversed is actually a positive external sign. Your situation is no longer seen as binding or toxic in the same way, but it doesn't automatically mean full internal closure yet. There's still some emotional work to do. Externally, there's a release happening. Internally, clarity and satisfaction are still being sorted out, but healing is underway. And then your hopes and fears is the Five of Wands. This card is about conflict, tension, competition, clashing energies. So, as a hope, you may want clarity through confrontation rather than silence or confusion. Or you want to finally air everything out instead of sitting in uncertainty. Or it could mean a chance to test what's real versus what's not. Or it can indicate emotional honesty that comes through friction instead of avoidance. You want the truth to come out, Scorpio, even if it's messy. For your fears, there could be a fear of ongoing conflict or emotional chaos, or you may fear that the situation will keep being unstable or unresolved, or there's a fear of arguments, misunderstandings, or repeated cycles of tension, or there's a fear that things won't settle into peace or clarity. The Lover's reversed is about misalignment or separation energy. The Ace of Swords reversed is about unclear communication. The Magician reversed is about inability to properly influence or fix things. The Nine of Cups reversed is emotional dissatisfaction. So the Five of Wands is saying, what if this situation just keeps being complicated no matter what you do? You're not emotionally neutral here. You're still in a mentally and emotionally active struggle. Even if externally you look like you're detaching. Part of you wants resolution through honesty and confrontation. Part of you fears continued conflict, instability, or emotional back and forth. You want clarity and peace, but you're in confusion and emotional tension. The situation hasn't fully settled internally yet, even with healing energy. There's still active mental, emotional friction underneath it. And then your last card is the King of Wands for your outcome card, reversed. The King of Wands reversed. If all, the outcome, if all, is to remain as is. So, reversed, this card is about blocked leadership or direction, or frustration around control, pride, or ego, or inconsistent action or follow through. Someone not fully stepping into their power or misusing it. Or it could indicate hot and cold energy rather than stable progress. Sorry. Because you said, let me just think. Closure is not fully completed yet. There's no clean transformation. Let me think here. There's a lack of stable direction or leadership in resolving your situation. No one is fully taking charge to resolve things clearly, is what this card is saying. Energy is inconsistent. Pride, ego, or emotional volatility may still interfere with clean decisions. The situation may continue, but without strong clarity or decisive movement. So the King reversed is basically the external result of your internal blockages. Even with healing and awareness present, the leadership needed to fully change your situation isn't being effectively expressed. This is not a happy ending or a clean breakup resolution. It's more like emotional healing is happening, but clarity and alignment are still incomplete. External perception is that detachment is occurring. Internally, there's tension and uncertainty. And the final result is stagnation in direction rather than decisive closure or transformation. So the King of Wands reverse suggests the situation doesn't fully move into stable resolution yet. It may continue in a loop of partial healing, partial detachment, and ongoing ambiguity until clear decisions or honest communication finally breaks through. This reading describes a situation that once felt emotionally ideal but was built on unclear truth or poor communication. And that foundation eventually led to disappointment and emotional disconnection. And now there's a phase of healing and letting go. But the healing is complicated by ongoing dissatisfaction or a misalignment in a relationship or a choice, and a feeling of being unable to properly fix or control the outcome. Externally, it looks like detachment or breaking away is happening, but internally, there's still tension, conflict, and uncertainty. The final outcome shows no clean resolution yet, just stalled direction and inconsistent action. This is a transition out of an emotionally idolized situation that wasn't fully honest or aligned, but the situation hasn't fully resolved. They're still emotional and practical limbo. Prioritize clarity over hope or nostalgia. The Ace of Swords reverse shows confusion at the root. Without truth, healing stays partial. Stop trying to force or control the outcome. Accept that what felt right isn't necessarily what is right. Make decisions based on alignment, not emotional intensity. Don't make detachment for resolution. Allow space for real clarity to form before taking big action. You're moving out of an idolized but unclear emotional situation. You're learning from disappointment. You're realizing that real resolution only comes through honest clarity and aligned choices, not control or forcing outcomes. So that is your reading, Scorpio. Thank you for letting me channel these messages today. I'm sending you lots of love and strength. Take good care. Bye.